Good afternoon. Good energy here. Let's keep it going, all right? I'm going to ask some questions, and if you relate to anything that I am about to say, I want you to take your hands and just clap it together once, all right? Here we go. Have you ever had a miscommunication with someone that you care about? Have you ever been accused of being a poor listener? Have you ever looked in a mirror and thought you looked, too old, too tired, too fat? Men, did you join in on that clap, or was it just the women? All right. Have you ever been around an accomplished speaker or an accomplished person who played a musical instrument or maybe had a very high education and you momentarily felt inferior? All right, now let's get to the things that might ruffle your feathers. Have you ever been bothered when you're waiting in for a parking space? You motion for the other person to come out, and they do. And before you can get to that parking space, someone from the other direction whips in and gets your parking space. That bother you? What about when you're in line and your line's not moving, but all the other lines are moving? Does that kind of ruffle your feathers? What about if you're late for an appointment and it's no fault of your own, but you are going to be late? How do you feel about that? Does that get you? What about if you overhear accidentally someone saying something not too kind about you, and you play it over and over and over again in your mind? Does that bother you? Do you ever stress out about money, chores, and who's supposed to do them? What about somebody throwing up something from 100 years ago for the 1000th time? Does that get you? Do you ever just feel like you're not appreciated? All right. These troubles may not dominate your life because, after all, they're small stuff. But whether they're small or not, whether they happen every day or just occasionally, I want to know, am I talking to the right audience? Yes. Do you want to change? Yes. I'm going to try that again. Am I talking to the right audience? Yes. And are you ready for a change? Yes. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Don't sweat the small stuff." And it's all small stuff. Everything I mentioned is small. And we could handle one or two of those just fine, couldn't we? It's when they build up and we hold on to them that we run into difficulty. When I was a young girl, my older sister Brenda was dating a karate expert. His name was Terry Wilson. Now, I think I had a crush on Terry Wilson. He was drop dead gorgeous. He kind of had the Jimmy Dean thing going on. And he knew to give just the right amount of attention to the pesky little sister. Well, my sister talked Terry into giving a demonstration to our church's Vacation Bible School. And so I'm out in the audience with all the kids. And Terry presents this bunch of twigs. I think he picked them up from our backyard. And he had them all bound together. And he asked all the kids, "Do you think I can break through this bunch of sticks?" Yeah, no problem. We were not impressed. Then he took a 4-inch solid hardwood board. And he asked the same question. Well, now he had a few doubters in the audience. I knew he could do it because I'd seen him showing off in front of my sister in our basement. He had no problem cutting through the solid board. One whack, and it was gone. But to our amazement, he could not cut through with his hand those little twigs that were bound together. Now, the lesson that followed the demonstration was this. It's not the big stuff in life that keeps us and we can't break through it. It's all the little stuff that we bound together and hold on to that stops us from moving forward. That was a big lesson on me as a child. Well, after all the other kids just